Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk about it's time to change your life. How many of you woke up this morning feeling like you are living on a loop? You hit the snooze button, you went through the same routine, you drove the same route, and you felt that familiar nagging sensation in the back of your mind, the feeling that there is something more. We often treat our lives like a dress rehearsal. We tell ourselves, I'll start that business when I have more savings, or I'll focus on my health once this busy season at work is over, or I'll find happiness once I meet the right person. But here is the cold, hard truth. Life is not a rehearsal. The clock is ticking not toward a beginning, but toward an end. If you are waiting for a sign to change, this is it. If you are waiting for permission, I am giving it to you. But more importantly, you need to give it to yourself. Why is it so hard to change? If we know we aren't happy, why do we stay where we are? The answer lies in the comfort zone. We've all heard the phrase, but we rarely examine what it actually is. The comfort zone isn't necessarily comfortable. It can be a miserable job, a toxic relationship, or a body that feels sluggish and tired. We call it comfort because it is predictable. The human brain is a survival machine, not a happiness machine. It prefers a familiar misery over a foreign greatness. When you stay in a life that no longer fits you, you are essentially choosing a slow death of the soul. You are trading your potential for the illusion of safety. Think about a ship in a harbor. It's safe there, the water is calm. But that's not what ships are built for. Ships are built for the high seas, for the wind, for the waves, and for the discovery of new lands. If a ship stays in the harbor too long, its hull begins to rot. The same thing happens to a human being who refuses to grow. To change your life, you must first acknowledge the sunk cost fallacy. This is the psychological trap where we continue an endeavor simply because we have already invested time, effort, or money into it. You might say, I've been an accountant for 15 years, I can't quit now. Or, I've been in this relationship for a decade, I have to make it work. No, you don't. You do not owe your future to your past. Your past is a school, not a prison. The time you spent getting to where you are today was not wasted. It was the tuition you paid to learn who you don't want to be. Once you decide that change is necessary, the next question is, change into what? Most people fail to change because they are running away from something rather than running towards something. If you are only running away, you will eventually get tired and stop, often in a place that is no better than where you started. You need a vision. I want you to try an exercise. Imagine it is 5 years from today. You're living your absolute best life. Don't worry about how you got there yet. Just look at the what. Where are you waking up? What does the air smell like? Who is lying next to you? What kind of work are you doing? Work that makes you feel energized rather than drained. How does your body feel? If that vision feels 1,000 miles away from where you are now, good. That means you have room to grow. The tragedy of modern life is that we have replaced purpose with distraction. We fill the void of an unfulfilled life with scrolling, with consumption, with gossip. But distraction is a temporary anesthetic. When the screen goes dark, the void is still there. To change your life, you must define your values. What do you actually care about? Not what your parents care about, not what society tells you to care about, and certainly not what looks good on Instagram. Do you value freedom, security, creativity, connection? If you value freedom, but you are working a 9-to-5 job that requires total tethering to a desk, you will always be miserable. No amount of self-care or weekend trips will fix that. The structure of your life is in direct conflict with the values of your soul. Change, in this case, isn't just an option, it's a requirement for your survival. Now let's talk about the how. This is where most people get overwhelmed. They see the mountain and they freeze. They think they need to leap from the base to the summit in a single bound. Change does not happen in giant leaps. Change happens in the boring, mundane, daily repetitions. You've heard of the 1% rule. If you get 1% better every day, by the end of a year you are 37 times better than when you started. But the inverse is also true. If you get 1% worse every day, you decline almost to zero. Change is built on the back of habits. Your life is essentially the sum of your habits. If you want to change your life, you have to change your afternoon. You have to change your morning. You have to change what you do when you're bored. Stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are unreliable. Motivation is like a fair weather friend. It's there when the sun is shining and things are easy, but it vanishes the moment things get cold and difficult. You don't need motivation, you need discipline. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's the ability to make a promise to yourself and keep it. Every time you break a promise to yourself, every time you say you'll work out and you don't, or say you'll write that chapter and you don't, you lose a piece of self-trust. To change your life, start by rebuilding that trust. Start small, so small it's almost embarrassing. Want to get fit? Do 5 push-ups a day. Not 50, 5. Want to write a book? Write 1 paragraph. The goal isn't the 5 push-ups, the goal is the identity of someone who doesn't miss a workout. You must also curate your environment. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You are also the average of the information you consume. If you are surrounded by people who complain, who have no ambition, and who mock growth, you will stay stuck. You cannot bloom in a room where the air is toxic. Sometimes changing your life means changing your circle. It's lonely at first, but the view from the top is better than the view from the bottom of the bucket. As soon as you begin to change, you will encounter resistance. Internal resistance will tell you, who do you think you are? You're not an entrepreneur, you're not an athlete, you're just a failure who's trying to pretend. This is called imposter syndrome. Expect it. Welcome it. It means you are pushing against your boundaries. If you don't feel like an imposter, you aren't growing. External resistance will come from people who knew the old you. When you change, it holds up a mirror to them. It reminds them that they are still stuck. They might try to pull you back down. They might say, "You've changed," and they'll say it like it's a bad thing. Your response should be, "Thank God, I worked hard to change." You will also face failure. Let's be honest about that. You will try to change your life and you will stumble. You'll have a week where you fall back into old habits. Most people use a stumble as an excuse to quit. They say, "Well, I ate a donut, might as well eat the whole box and give up on my diet." That's like popping the other 3 tires on your car just because you got 1 flat. Failure is data. That's all it is. It's information telling you that your current strategy needs a tweak. Don't take it personally. The only true failure is the decision to stop trying. We're coming to the end of our time together, but I hope this is the beginning of yours. There is a Japanese concept called kaizen, continuous improvement, but there is another concept called ichigo ichie, which means this moment only once. This moment, right now, as you listen to these words, it will never happen again. You will never be this young again. You will never have this exact opportunity again. We spend so much time looking at the now as if it's a hallway leading to a better room. We think, once I get through this month, then I'll be happy. But the hallway is the only place we ever live. If you can't find the courage to change in the hallway, you'll never reach the room. The world doesn't need more people who are just getting by. The world is desperate for people who have come alive. When you change your life, when you step into your power, your health, your creativity, and your truth, you give everyone around you subconscious permission to do the same. It is time to stop apologizing for your ambition. It is time to stop playing small to make others feel comfortable. It is time to look in the mirror and realize that the person staring back at you is the only person who can save you. No one is coming to rescue you. No one is going to hand you your dream life on a silver platter. You have to build it, brick by boring brick, day by difficult day. So what is the first brick? Don't leave this room or turn off this audio and go back to business as usual. Identify one thing, one conversation you need to have, one habit you need to break, one application you need to send, and do it today. Not Monday, today. It's time to change your life, not because your life is bad, but because you are capable of so much more. The version of you that you've been dreaming of is waiting for you to show up. Don't keep them waiting any longer. Thank you.